Welcome to the Education Innovators Podcast. I am Eric Byron, and it is my privilege to talk with education thought leaders from all over the world. Today, I'm going to do a little solo episode, just a short one, to talk about something I'm passionate about, and that is community. So this is going to be about all the things we can do to be active and support education in our community, in our local schools. So I'm glad you're here. Let's get started. There has been so much anxiety over the dismantling of the Department of Education in the U.S. So I want to just take a pause here and talk about solutions, right? What can we do as a community to come together and make quality education more effective and accessible to all those in our community? So when I think of this as community, so I'm talking about like lots of people who are not just directly involved as teachers, parents, or administrators of schools, but the community itself coming together and, spending less time talking about what government's role is and talking about what we can do to support education, okay? Individually, as families, as members of a community. So I'm talking about being active, okay? Supporting the local schools. I'm not talking just about supporting fundraising activities, and the kids go around and they sell cookies or candy bars, okay? It's good to support those things, but I'm talking beyond that, right? That's good, but it's not enough, okay? I'm talking about donating our time, our expertise, and maybe some other resources, like donating supplies. I'm going to talk about that, or yes, buying cookies, but we need to get involved. So, and what's significant about this, what matters here, right, is a community placing value on education, okay? Not waiting for somebody else to do something, but the community saying, we care, this is important. We value our teachers and we're going to support you as teachers, right? This is, it's not about just words spoken. This is about, active things you can do, okay? So, and maybe that's something like tutoring. Maybe you're good in math, right? You can go and you can help with math tutoring or something, okay? It may be a teacher's got a particular project they want to do and they need some supplies, right? So you donate some stuff, some equipment or whatever you've got that could help with that class. Maybe sometimes it's just showing up and talking to a teacher, having a conversation with them and asking them, what do you need? Okay, so don't assume you know. Ask them. I lived in Orlando, Florida for a bunch of years, and I worked with this wonderful organization there called A Gift for Teaching. And as part of my role in corporate, I used to help with volunteerism and coordinating activities for folks from the office who wanted to volunteer time. And one of the things that we would do is a collection drive for A Gift for Teaching, which means we would go around and we would get people to donate all kinds of supplies that teachers and students might need. So this included things like, of course, paper and binders and, writing utensils and whatever. But, we had backpacks and lunch boxes, binders, rulers, all kinds of stuff that people would donate. And most of it was stuff that they had kind of lying around their office, right? For some reason, we had all these 2-inch binders that are just taking up space. Donate them to A Gift for Teaching. Extra, say, paper that for some reason it hasn't been used or just sitting around somewhere. Sometimes some of the volunteers would actually go to the stationery store and they would get supplies, tape, and scissors and whatever that they thought that the schools could use. And so they would buy some with their own money and bring it in and donate it. All of the donated stuff would then go to a facility where the teachers could, they could register and they got a time to go and they could walk through with a cart and literally just pick the stuff that they needed for their classrooms and for their students. Okay. And this was often stuff, one of the things I learned about what this organization was doing is these teachers were buying this stuff with their own money. Right. They would have students who, they're given a list at the beginning of school, right, during the summer, show up in, the fall with, this list of school supplies that you need. And some of the kids just didn't have the means to get that stuff. So the teachers would go and buy it for them. And, these teachers are working on sadly a low salary to do this stuff. And so a gift for teaching allows the teachers to not have to spend their own money on stuff that they really need for the education and the programs that they're trying to run. So wonderful organization. Again, there's a link in the show notes if you want to go check them out. Another thing that I was active in, and this, I can't remember the name of the program, Read to Succeed, maybe? Anyway, doesn't matter. I did this tutoring program where I was assigned a particular student who was struggling. I want to say he was third grade. And anyway, so he was having trouble with reading. This was potentially really going to set him back in his education. And so I got paired with him, a young boy, and I would go to the school once a week and meet him. We'd sit in the library for like an hour and just read books. And it was simple. It was not hard. I didn't need to be an expert in something. I just needed to show him that, his education was important to me and I wanted to see him succeed. And, we enjoyed the time together reading these books. The amazing part of that experience, it was a commitment for several months. I had to be consistent and show up every week to spend time with him in order to make a difference. But what I was able to do there after several months with him was he went from being at risk of having to repeat third grade to actually reading at or above his grade level. And you could just see the confidence increase there, right? He felt good about himself and he wasn't so worried and stressed that he might repeat. He had a younger brother. I think it would have been really, really bad for this kid if he had to repeat that grade. So I felt like I had an impact, and it was an easy, simple thing that just took a little bit of my time and commitment to do. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about. That's community coming together. Okay. I didn't have a kid at that school. I didn't, have any other association with it, just simply wanted to help. So this is, the kind of example. This is what we need to do. And there's lots of communities around the globe, Singapore being a particular example, where it is very much their success and the reason they are ranked #1 in education over and over again in many studies is because the community really, really gets involved. So it's about our time and our energy, right? Our resources, and it really can make a difference when the community comes together and gets involved. We can't expect somebody else to do this for us, right? They're not going to make it as important as it is to us in our local community and our local schools. So step up and get involved. If there isn't an organization like a Gift for Teaching in your community, maybe you should create one. Okay, it doesn't take a lot, right? And if there's enough support, again, the community comes together, find people of like mind, and organize. Start small. Maybe you can build it up into something as impactful as the one in Orlando. So do it. Just do it. Get involved. Okay. Together we can raise the bar for education. We can elevate it for all students in our communities. Our children deserve a better education. Let's give it to them. Okay, that's my rant on community support for education. Thanks for listening to the Education Innovators Podcast. Again, I'm Eric Byron. It's my privilege to do this and to share my thoughts and ideas with you guys. And I hope that you'll subscribe and share, because I've got real experts and real thought leaders on as guests on the regular. So you don't want to miss those incredible stories of innovation and education. All right. Thanks to all those innovators out there. Keep doing what you're doing. You are making a difference.